Hello everyone. So today we'll be explaining our SQL-based project on the Indian Railway system. We have basically tried to clone the IRCTC website through our project, and the tech stacks used in this project are MySQL for the entire database, and we have used the MERN stack for our front-end and back-end part. So this was all about the project. You can see our README file here. This is the entire ER model, which I'll be explaining further. And here is the project description. So we have basically tried to create the two views through our project. The first one is the user view, and the second one is our admin view, which will help to administer the entire database and the entire functionality of the IRCTC app. Now, talking about the basic stuff, we'll have some files here. The first one are CSV files, which include all the data which we have included in our database and on which we are making our queries. Then we have some improvements here, which can be further used to design a more scalable database. And we have here further more normalized database, which is actually not at all required, but it can be needed in the future. So, and again, we have some VR table improvements as well. Then we have one more file, which is master.sql. This file contains our entire database, and we have again this standard block diagram for us. So in order to run this database, you can simply go to our hosted website, or you can simply clone this project into your personal computer, and you can run this using the terminal or PowerShell or MySQL Workbench, or you can use some extensions to make this run on the VS Code as well. So this was all about our database. Now let's go to the functionalities, and let's go to first of all the block here diagram of this entire database. Though we will be talking about block ER diagram of this entire database, this actually forms the heart of the database, from where the entire things are getting operated. So the first and foremost thing is the user, which comes to a platform to book the tickets, to cancel the tickets, and to see the trains. So they are uniquely identified by the user ID, which is the primary key for our user table. Apart from this, there is one interesting thing which you can see here. That is, we have implemented the multi-valued phone number through two different columns for the max limit two phone numbers. So we have two columns for primary phone as well as the secondary phone number. Now, the second foremost thing is the trains. So you can clearly see we have distinguished each train with their train ID, which usually happens in our normal Indian railway system as well. So yeah, so this is the train ID. Now, going deep inside the train, we'll have the different coaches like S1, A1, S2, A2. In a similar manner, in a similar analogy, we'll have the coach ID here, which is of the particular train. So we have used the train ID as a foreign key in the coaches. And then we have again coach type like sleeper, general, third AC, second AC, like that. And we have total seats, available seats in order to keep the track of how many seats are actually there, how many available are there. These are further useful for the RAC updates and waitlist updates and all this stuff. Now, coming to the coaches, we will have the seats in our coaches. You can clearly see the blue highlighted part here. Like now it's green, so we'll have the coach ID as a foreign key. Then we'll have the seat ID as a primary key, like seat 1, 2, 3 to till 80. We usually have till 80. Apart from this, we have our schedule ID here. We'll be talking about schedule in a few seconds. And apart from this, we have one more important thing here, which is journey date. You can clearly see the journey date here. This is very important because it helps us to keep the correspondence between the tickets which are booked and the seats which are available for the particular train for a particular journey date. Now we have also linked the train with the train schedule, like what are the schedule for that train, on what days is it available, and again there are multiple different things which are associated with it. Now, coming to the tickets, now the passenger will book tickets, and the user from a user ID can book tickets for multiple passengers. So this is the reason we have taken the passenger as a separate entity. This also respects the normalization form, which helps us to reduce the redundancy in the data as well. So yeah, so we have different passengers which are connected from the ticket, as well as we have the separate primary key, which is passenger ID here. So now coming to the ticket will be booked by the user. So we have four foreign keys here, which is user ID, train ID, schedule ID, and the payment ID. So I've already done all these things, and we have again one more thing, which is ticket. Now coming to the payments and the transactions. So this is the payment table, which will show the payment ID and the user ID, whatever payment we are making. And this is the transaction. which is linked to a particular ticket, not with the user. So yeah, so this is the transaction, and we have the ticket ID and the user ID as a foreign key, and transaction ID as a primary key in order to track this particular transaction. This is further useful in the cancellation of tickets, and the money which will be returned, it will directly be debited in the e-wallet, which is inside the app itself. So we'll have another e-wallet entity as well, which is used to store and track the balance as well as the refunds which we get in this entire database. So this is all about the block schema. We can easily relate it with the PR diagram as well, and you can easily see we have normalized the entire component till voice code normalized file. Thank you. Now going forward, we'll first be skimming through the entire database on how the codes are working, how the functionalities are actually implemented in this. So to give the brief overview, we have 12 tables, which are also known as entities. Apart from that, we have created the total 19 procedures, out of which 11 are for the user part and the 8 procedures are for the admin part. And apart from this, we have also created the strict triggers, which will be triggered as and when the database are inserted, updated, or deleted. So now, first of all, let's talk about the different tables which we have created. And I have discussed this very briefly in explanation of a block diagram as well. So let's just skim through it. We've also added the comments in this for extra readability purposes. So this is the user table. Then again, we'll have the entire user table here. We'll have the payment details. We'll have the e-wallet here, which will be created once the user is created. Automatically we'll be seeing further in the tables. And we'll have train table here. We'll have train schedule, train stops, coaches, tickets, passengers, transactions, cancellation, seats. So these are all about the entities or the tables which we have created. And now coming to the triggers part, we'll have the trigger validate phone, which will be used to validate the triggers whenever the data is inserted before insertion on the phone column. And apart from that, we'll have the trigger for e-wallet. The e-wallet will be automatically created as and when the user registers on the platform. So this is one of the added advantage of this entire database and this entire project. Apart from this, we have our update passenger status, which will be updated after there is an update on tickets. Accordingly, the railway waiting list and as well as the RSC statuses will be updated, and we'll have the cancellation. After the cancellation, we'll have the updation in case of RSC railway waiting list, so that the people who have RSC seats are getting confirmed seats whenever anyone is cancelling from the confirm. And so that way we have handled it. And again, in case of cancellations and refunds, we have triggers for the wallet payment as well. So now talking about the procedures, we have multiple procedures here. The first one is creating the user, then we have user login, then we have search trains. So talking about search train, we have basically implemented some two algorithms here. The first one is we have kept a count on the train, the destination number. I mean, we have kept the count of the train stop on what the station is for that particular train. And accordingly, like for example, there is a train from point A, point C going to the point B, and there is another train going from point C to the point A, going again to the point B. So, and both are on the same day. So whenever we have to display for any journey, the train from point A to the point C. So only the train one should come, which is from the point A to point C, not the train which is from the point C to point A. So for that, we have kept the destination number or the train stoppage number. Accordingly, if the train stoppage number of the point C is after the train stoppage number of point A, then only we'll see the point B, and only in that particular train we'll be seeing that on the database. I mean, only that will be displayed. So yeah, this was the one important algorithm which we used here, and so this was it. And apart from this, we have payment and we have wallet operations. We have populate seats for the date, and yeah, so this is one of the major functions which is used to populate the seat. So this is it. Then we have book ticket functions. This is also the important function, the one of the most important function in here. There are multiple different algorithms and multiple techniques we have used to encounter different edge cases, which is clearly visible through this function. You can clearly go through it if you need more details on this. We have generate seats, cancel tickets. This is used to get the seats which are not reserved till now. So this is something which can be used, and this is also used to insert the seats. Apart from that, we have cancel ticket, and so simultaneously during the cancellation, we are also calling the ticket, which I have already explained above. So this is all about the cancellation. It's a very important function as well. We have view user bookings. So we have logout train availability. We have get waitlisted passengers, refundable amount for the train cancellation, revenue from the bookings, previous to itemized bill. So yeah, this was our entire database. I have gone through the entire code base once. You can check out the entire code in depth by going through in detail if you wish. So yeah, this is all about it. Now let's move to the another part of our project, which is the query processing.
So now let's move into our MySQL Workbench, and here is our train data, which we are going to insert in our database with the train number, train name, and train type as attributes. As you can see, we have around 20 trains in our database. Next up, we have the coaches entity where we can define different classes for each of the trains. Example, first AC, second AC, third AC, sleeper, general for Rajdhani Express. Then we can have classes like economy, chair car, second sitting, and general for Shatabdi Express, and so on. Moving forward, we have the train schedule, wherein we have defined train ID along with running days and its active or suspended status. Then we have the train stops for each of the train, which demonstrates the route for each of the trains we have inserted in our database. This includes schedule ID, station name, stop number, arrival time, departure time, and distance, which will be used for calculation of fare. Now, we will populate these seats for the corresponding 16th and 17th of April, which is today and tomorrow. Now, let's move towards the user interaction. First up, we will be registering us into the database with ID and with a name of, let's say, John Doe, with given date of birth, email ID, primary phone number. We'll keep secondary phone number as nil. Then card numbers used for booking purpose, card expiry, then card holder number, name, and UPI ID along with user type. Output would be the user ID. So we have been successfully registered for this database. Then we can add a balance to the wallet for the user. Let's input 4,000. Now for checking whether the wallet has been updated or not, we will see select star from e-wallet. As you can see, the user ID one has now a balance of 4,000. Next up, the user will see the train availability from Delhi to Patna on a specified date of 17th of April. As you can see that there is a train, Rajdhani Express, which runs from Delhi to Patna on 17th. Now, the user will book a ticket in a first AC coach, and here are the details for the booking status, booking ticket. Then we have the from station, to station, journey date, of course, user ID and train ID for booking, along with the payment mode, which can be varied from wallet to UPI ID and card details. So the user has booked the ticket in the Rajdhani Express. Now we will be seeing it towards the using the view user bookings. So now here we can see the first user has been booked a ticket with a seat of S1 in first AC. The booking status says here confirmed and the payment method is wallet. Now we can also generate an itemized bill for the same. Here is the complete itemized bill for it. Other functionalities we can see on further addition of tickets. Now let's book few more tickets with different names. Now looking into the user bookings, you can see the another user has been allotted a seat of S10 in the same coach. Now let's book further more tickets for looking into the functionality of RAC and waiting list. So till now we have booked tickets which all have been confirmed. So let's book few more tickets. So here you can see we have booked 18 tickets which were available in this first AC coach of Rajdhani Express. Now the next 19th user has been allotted a RAC1. So now let's book another ticket. Looking into the user bookings, we can see the another person has been booked a ticket of RAC2. Booking further will lead to a state of waiting list. As you can see, after completion of RAC 8, then the next user has been given a seat allocation of waiting list 1, then 28th ticket ID has been given a waiting list 2, and so on. Now let's see the cancellation part. First up, we will cancel a confirmed ticket user having a ticket ID of 9. We want the amount to be refunded back to our wallet. So the ticket has been cancelled. Now again we can see the user bookings. Now hovering towards the ticket ID 9, as we can see that the ticket now has been cancelled and the refund amount is 90% of the user's ticket booking amount. Now we can see the RAC 1, which was for the 19%, has now been allotted S17, the same seat which was cancelled S17 for the ticket ID 9. So the ticket which was cancelled has now been allotted to RAC1 passenger, and the RAC2 and further have been reduced to 1 desk. Moving forward, and let's cancel an RAC ticket, which can be ticket 22. As here we can see, ticket number 22 has been cancelled, and RAC3 has been allotted to the next ticket ID, which is 23, and RAC4, 5, 6 to 24, 25, 26 ticket IDs, and so on. Now, moving further, let's cancel a ticket of waiting list 3, let's say, which is 31. Here we can see the 31 ticket ID book has been cancelled, and the next ticket ID 32 has been allotted a waiting list 3. As we have implemented the booking and cancellation tickets, now let's move forward and see some other functions. Now, hovering towards the busiest route, we can see from Delhi to Patna is the heaviest route, as we have booked tickets mainly from this route only. Moving forward, we have waitlisted tickets, passengers, and the attribute here is train ID. Running this, we get all the waiting list tickets which we had booked and its current status. Next up, we have the refundable amount if for a train gets cancelled. The attributes are train ID and the journey date. Now, as we have selected 17, so we need to change as we have booked all the tickets for 16. So we have total revenue of 1,100 and already refunded 93. Now revenue from bookings till now, which have been generated, is 589, as much of the amount has also been refunded. Now, so this completes our database implementation part. Thank you.
So I'll pick up where Chirag left off. So this is our main master SQL file, as we can see. So the first part that we did was establish a connection with the database. So we have hosted the database currently on the local host, although we can host it somewhere else for better scalability. So we've used the next stack. So the database is in MySQL, and the stack that we've used is React and Next. So firstly, they communicate with each other through API calls. What happens is you give an instruction to the front end, and it sends a query in the database, and the elements are retrieved in the backend. That's what we mainly do. I want to demonstrate what we did through this project. So I'll just run the project once so that everyone can get a better clarity about it. So we run this project, and we can see the link that we get on the network. So if you're using the IIT Patna intranet, this is open, and we'll share the link in our report. So let me open it. Yeah, we open it. The fresh thing is loading. So you can see that my old user is logged out. So I will just logged in, sorry. So I will just log out once, and I will log in again. So it's very simple, and the UI is very simple, considering that it can be used by a lot of users even though they're uneducated. Mainly taking inspiration from the IRCTC database. So the username we use is John Doe. So So we use John Doe, and for the password we enter the password. So it actually corrects for the wrong password. So now I'll enter the correct password. So we can see that we are now logged in again. So now we start with this. First, I'll like to show you my profile. So we can see our profile, and it is fetched by the database. So it takes time to load because again it is slow. We can add funds here, and like suppose I had 100 rupees, so it gets added automatically. The balance updates on each call. So once I log out and log in again, it updates. So then we can select a default method also, and we can add payment methods also. So this is the main part of it. So suppose we want to search a route. So we'll just type here search. Suppose I want to search. Suppose I want to go from Patna to Delhi on, let's say, the 18th. So, and I just like to keep it like unresolved so that we have more options to see. So we can see this, and we can see the available trains. So we can see all available trains. Suppose I want to book first AC. So it will now redirect me to the bookings page. So now it will book. It takes time because it fetches the data from the database. So I'll just show you how it happens after we have booked a train. So our bookings are loading here. So we can see that it shows like this. We have also added a cancellation option, but it does not cancel if your journey has already started. So if you try to cancel this, it will just say that it is unable to cancel. Just alert us, yeah, that it is not able to cancel. We can see how it reacts to the backend. I'd also like to show you how it works out with MySQL. So if I show the MySQL database to everyone,